بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. إخوتي في الله حياكم الله، الله يبارك فيكم، أعانكم الله وآتاكم من فضله، غفر الله لي ولكم. إخوتي في الله, we're at the end of this story here. I think we have had a fruitful week. We have one more day tomorrow. Make sure every week try to benefit, try to improve. Now, don't walk blindfolded in your class, just following along. No, look at where you're going. Look ahead. Look in the past. Benefit. Recognize your weaknesses. Improve. Have more enthusiasm than the teacher. Improve. I thank you all for attending and paying attention. I have a goal to spread Arabic throughout the world. Well, you all are, it's aiding my goal. That's my intention. Very possible. It's very important. You all are studying today, tomorrow you are teaching. It's very important that Arabic is easily facilitated to the learner. It has to be explained to him. Everything has to be explained. When you teach Arabic, you're not teaching a book. You're teaching people. You're teaching people who live, that have lives. They take away from their time. They have desires to learn Arabic. They have tried. They have failed. Some of them have despaired. You have to recognize that, and you have to fulfill their needs. You have to show them the way. And you have to encourage them. You have to be an encouragement. You're not just teaching Arabic. You have to be an upliftment. You have to be like a coach. Like a coach. He's there for them morally and emotionally. He's actually going to teach them what they need to know. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aid you all in learning. And if you all choose, to aid you all in teaching. May Allah make it easy. You all going to read what we did yesterday. And our goal in reading always is not to stutter. And not stuttering, that doesn't just entail reading without any context and not stopping where you need to stop. Now you have to stop at certain places. You're reading, you're not barking at the print. You can't just stop anywhere and think because it's fluent, then that's good. No, it has to be understood. The context has to be understood. So you have to read, if it's in the form of a question, make it in the form of a question. Make your voice like that. If it's two things connected, keep them connected. If somebody's saying something, explain what he's saying. Keep the context in mind. You're not reading words void of meaning. Again, you're not reading Arabic words void of meaning. So when you read, imagine that you're speaking to somebody and somebody is actually comprehending what you're saying. Are you all with me? Brothers and sisters online, are you all with us? Are you all with me? And I want you to make some type of reality to your studies. Make it real. Keep it real. You understand what you're saying, and you're conveying this to your listener. So it has to be clear. It has to be contextual. It has to be in context. You have to convey this. You have to explain this. So your fluency has to be also articulate. This last paragraph.
وداخل الشفتين الأسنان واللسان، وهذا هو الفم. إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام، ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه يدخل الجنة. وبعد الفم الذقن.
That قاف has a سكون on it. That قاف should be a سكون.
وبعد الفم is a سكون.
نعم.
القاف. وبعد الفم الذقن. وكل هذا هو الوجه. وعلى جانبي الوجه وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان والشعر.
Let's stop there. Let's keep in mind what I mentioned before, that when you have two things that are coming alif lam, like that, it's good to stop. It's good to say, wa ala janib al-wajh al-khaddan. Now, and at the beginning, it's better to say, dakhil al-shafatayn al-asnan wal-lisan. Because that's what you will call a mubtada, but the khabar here is what beforehand, for those who understand it. Now, so what does this mean? وَعَلَى جَانِبَيْ الْوَجْهِ الْخَدَّانِ. It means al-khaddan ala janibi al-wajh. Now, what does it mean? It means al-khaddan ala janibi al-wajh. Now, but why did we put this first like this? Ala janibi al-wajh. Why we to put that first? So you can visualize what I'm talking about. If I say ala janibi al-wajh, on the two sides of the face, now I'm going to give you the name of that. Now, but if I give you the name face, I said al-khaddan, you just have a name. You have nowhere where it goes. You know? So I want you to visualize where we're speaking about, because we're talking about body parts. I want you to visualize where we are. Then I'm going to give you the name. You know? So this thing that says وَعَلَى جَانِبَيْ الْوَجْهِ الْخَدَّانِ is put in front. That's what's normally comes second. You know? The actual sentence is al-khaddan ala janibay al-wajh. Wal-khaddan ala janibay al-wajh. Is this understood online? Is this understood what I'm saying? Without these terminology of mubtada wa khabar. Na'am. Anybody need further clarification? No. Tayyib Dawood.
وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان والشعر.
Again وعلى جانبي الوجه or على جانبي الوجه.
وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان والشعر على الخدين اللحية وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها إذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه تنظر إلى وجهه تعالى يوم القيامة إن شاء الله.
طيب good عندك يا غالب.
وداخل الشفتين الأسنان واللسان وهذا هو الفم. إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام، ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه يدخل الجنة. وبعد الفم الذقن. وكل هذا هو الوجه. وعلى الجانبي الوجه الخدان والشهر. الخدان.
نعم again. وعلى الجانبي.
وعلى الجانبي.
ليس على
وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان والشهر.
شعر
والشعر على الجانبي على الخدين.
Take your time. على make the lamb
على الخدين
وأدال شدة على الخدين.
على الخدين اللحية. وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
Again.
أن يحلقها.
نعم. So go back. وحرام.
وحرام على المسلم.
طيب where's the noon on that tanween? وحرام
على المسلم أن يحلقها.
لا ليش يحلقها. أن يحلقها.
يحلقها.
Again.
وحرام على المسلم.
لا حرام
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها وإذا أبدت الله. وإذا أبدت الله حتى تلقه.
إذا
أبدت. نعم. وإذا أبدت الله حتى تلقه تنظر.
Take your time.
وإذا أبدت الله حتى
عبدت لف شربت وأكلت. عبدت.
وإذا أبدت الله حتى تلقاه تنظر إلى وجهه تعالى يوم القيامة إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. Now here in English we say inshallah, but that's not correct. Inshallah. Insha'a Allahu. It's two hamza. You get the hamza al-qata' min sha'a wa hamzatul wasl Allah. Insha'Allah. No. Insha'Allah. It goes straight through.
So the hamza should be on the.
There's a hamza on sha. Insha'Allah. Go straight through. Not insha'Allah. 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 For hamza.
Insha'Allah.
No, not insha'Allah. That it goes straight to
Inshallah.
insha'Allah for hamza. Insha'Allah. Tayyib ya Isa. Take your time. You all are rushing. And one of the common mistake that is made is the alif lam. Let this be the last lesson that you get corrected on the alif lam. From the beginning of the book, I have been saying the alif lam, the alif lam. Improvement comes when you get rid of your mistakes. So I remember when we were studying Quran, just imagine when you study Quran, you have 70 mistakes. After 3 weeks, you're going to have like 60 mistakes. Then after another week, you're going to have 50 mistakes. And then after 2 more weeks, you're going to have 45 mistakes. Then after 6 months, you have like 10 mistakes you're still struggling with. But you start off with 70. Nah. So some people, pardon me for digressing, they get through Baqarah. They get fooled that just because they got through Baqarah, they've been proven. The teacher's still saying, Ar-Ra, Faqam Asin. He's still saying the same mistakes that you're making. But you're fooled that you finished Baqarah, that you got somewhere. Yeah, I finished Baqarah. Now I'm in Ali Imran. Yeah, you got the same mistakes. Makan, you're in the same place. You're in the same place. So now we started from the beginning of the book. Now we got up here. You don't want to be corrected about Alif Lam, or that this is long, or this is short, or this is online, and you are with us. You have to improve what you've been corrected on. Don't keep coming with the same mistake. Are you all with us? This is for everybody. The Alif Lam. So what are you going to do when you have, when we were studying Tajweed, let me just give you an example. My teacher used to say, if the student's khata, if the student's mistake is in the west, put him in the east. He needs to be in the middle. He needs to be in the middle. But if he's in the west, put him in the east. And if he's saying Ar-Rahman, and you want him to say Ar, you want to say Ar just a little bit. Have him say Ar-Rahman. Yeah, and he take him out of that mistake totally. If he's in the west, put him in the east. Now, then when he's saying Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, leave him like that for 2 weeks. And then have him come down a little bit. Have him come down a little bit. Have him come down. Point being, if you have a mistake in the Alif Lam, you're going to exaggerate. You're going to say Fil Jannah. Na'am. You're going to say Al-Asnan, Al-Lisan. You're going to exaggerate. Either call Al-Kafir, Al-Kafir, because you know you have a weakness there. You know you have a weakness there. So you're going to exaggerate until you hit the point, until you do it with ease. You're not going to try to implement it with ease, like Al-Kafir, Al-Lisan, Al-Jannah, Al-Sham, Al-Khaddain. It's not going to be heard. Al-Khaddain. Al-Khaddain. But this is online. Are you all with us? When you have a mistake and your mistake is in the north, you're going to go to the south. You're not going to just go up a little bit. Well, you actually need to be in the middle, but you're going to exaggerate so you can get out of the mistake. You're finished with it. I'm finished. So keep that in mind. The Alif Lam is of major importance so you can be understood, because it changes the context of the meaning. It changes it when you mention with Al-Alif Lam and without Al-Alif Lam. طيب عندك يا عيسى.
وداخل الشفتين الأسنان واللسان.
Nice and smooth. Al-Asnan wal-Lisan.
الأسنان واللسان.
Naam. So don't let it be heard in your reading delay. That can't be heard. Al-Asnan wa al-Lisan. No delay. It can't be heard. It can't be picked up. Naam. So just take your time. But when you shoot, shoot. When you shoot, shoot. Naam. Al-Asnan wal-Lisan. And then stop. But you can't say Al-Asnan wal. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not fluency. Naam. Again, وداخل الشفتين.
وداخل الشفتين الأسنان واللسان وهذا هو الفم إذا قال الكافر إذا قال الكافر
Again, قال, say lal.
إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام.
Okay, let's get that whole. If he says la ilaha illallah bilisanihi with his tongue, يدخل في الإسلام. So let's stop there. Again, إذا قال الكافر.
إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام.
لا. Again, بلسانه. نعم. Again, إذا قال الكافر.
إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام.
Good.
ثم إذا عمل ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه يدخل الجنة.
Again.
ثم إذا عمل
Again,
بأعضائه
عمل.
ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه.
Okay, now say عمل بأعضائه. Don't say ثم. Don't say ما. Say ثم إذا عمل. Stop. But don't say ثم إذا عمل. There's no mud there. ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه.
ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه يدخل الجنة. وبعد الفم
الذقن.
وبعد الفم الذقن.
Again, nice and smooth.
وبعد الفم الذقن. وكل هذا هو الوجه.
Again, وكل هذا هو الوجه.
وكل هذا هو الوجه وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان.
There's a shadda there.
الخدان.
Again, وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان.
وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان. والشعر على
الخدين.
والشعر على الخدين.
You can't delay.
والشعر على الخدين اللحية. اللحية.
Again, nice and smooth.
والشعر على والشعر على الخدين.
على الخدين.
والشعر على الخدين اللحية.
Okay, now stop there. That's the end of it. Don't say اللحية. It sounds like you want to continue. That's a complete phrase. So say that again.
والشعر على الخدين.
على الخدين.
والشعر على الخدين اللحية. وحرام على المسلم.
Where's the noon? The noon and the tanween. Where's that in tanween?
وحرام على المسلم. وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها. أن يحلقها.
Again, وحرام.
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها. أن يحلقها.
Now, don't overemphasize the pronunciation. أن يحلقها.
أن يحلقها.
Yeah, make it light on your tongue. فحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
Again, أن يحلقها.
أن يحلقها. وإذا عبدت الله. وإذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه.
حتى
تلقاه.
نعم. Again, وإذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه.
وإذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه.
Again.
وإذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه تنظروا إلى وجهه تعالى يوم القيامة.
Again.
تنظروا إلى وجهه تعالى يوم القيامة إن شاء الله.
Tayyib, brothers and sisters online, how are you all doing? How are you doing online? Listen, the teacher has to aid the student for perfection. The teacher cannot let the student read it wrong and let him go and leave him wrong. He has to correct them, even if it takes 6 times, even if it takes 7 times. La yataharraj, he should feel inconvenienced. No, that's your job. That's your job. Now, you have to do it with some kind of usloob. You have to do it with some type of mannerisms, but it has to be done. That's your class. These are your students. These are your students. What you put into them. What you put in, you're going to get half of what you get out. You're going to get half of it. You have to put it all in. You have to put it all in. If you half step with your students, what they're going to get. Give them all that you have. You have the highest expectations for them. Doesn't mean to be harsh, but you're not going to accept from them anything short from that which is correct. It has to be correct. So this is when they start to understand, like, no, I got it. I understand. And the Abdul-Sabur.
وداخل الشفتين الأسنان واللسان وهذا هو الفم إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام.
This La ilaha illallah, there's a shadda on illa and there's a shadda on Allah. So it's not La ilaha illallah. Illallah.
إذا قال الكافر لا إله إلا الله بلسانه يدخل في الإسلام ثم إذا عمل بأعضائه يدخل الجنة وبعد الفم الذكن
Again.
وبعد الفم الذكن.
So try, this is good. Try to be light on your tongue. If you pronounce the letter, that's it. Don't say adhikin. Say adhikin. Nice and smooth. Your tongue like a feather in your mouth, not like a weight. Hits every point. Tall. I see it. It just goes right through. But you hit the spot, but it's not like when you hit it, it's a weight. It's like a hammer. It's like a feather in your mouth. Your tongue's like a feather, not a hammer. It hits the makhraj and it goes. It's light. Your tongue is light. So don't overdo it in pronunciating, except if you have a problem with that letter. Okay?
وبعد الفم الذكن وكل هذا وكل هذا هو الوجه. هو الوجه.
Good.
وكل هذا هو الوجه وعلى جانبي وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان.
Again.
وعلى جانبي الوجه الخدان وشعر على الخدين اللحية.
Again. والشعر على الخدين اللحية.
وشعر على الخدين اللحية وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
أن يحلقها. So here, don't pronounce that noon. That noon yudgham fil ya. That noon in the Quran, it goes straight into the ya. So prepare for the ya. An yahliqaha. An yahliqaha. Make your mouth go straight to the ya. An yahliqaha.
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
Now, but I don't hear in many of the students the noon on haramun. They say haramun, haramun, haramun.
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها.
So I'm going to tell you all of a mistake that I still make sometimes reading Quran is that when something has a tanween and you say haramun, make sure your lips don't touch one another. So you might put your tongue up there for the noon, but if your lips touch one another, your noon is smothered. It's smothered. So you say haramun, but your lips are together. Haramun, baitan. If you put your lips together, it became a meme. So you have to consciously, and when you're making a noon, don't put your lips together incidentally, accidentally, because it's not going to be heard the noon. It's going to be heard a meme. Tired.
وحرام على المسلم أن
على المسلمين.
وحرام على المسلم أن يحلقها وإذا عبدت الله حتى تلقاه تنظر إلى وجهه تعالى يوم القيامة إن شاء الله.
طيب, that's good. Some of you, I see that you wrote, Ana atata'ta. Now, for to keep practicing, that's good. That's good. For just keep practicing. How are you going to practice? You're going to take your time. You're going to review it over. You're going to review it over. You're going to review it over. You're going to start from the top. You're going to work your way down to the bottom. Tayyib. Perhaps there's a point that's a little more difficult than the other. Read that a little bit more. Well, alhamdulillah. We're going to move on. We're on page 184. We have Jumul Mufida. You all are going to repeat after me. You all are going to repeat after me. And these sentences, barakallahu fikum, will have to do with our story. We're going to read, brothers and sisters online. The translation is on you all. Bismillah. نحن نركع في صلاتنا قبل أن نسجد.
نحن نركع في صلاتنا قبل أن نسجد.
نحن نركع في صلاتنا
نحن نركع في صلاتنا
قبل أن نسجد.
قبل أن نسجد.
Again. نحن نركع في صلاتنا
نحن نركع في صلاتنا
قبل أن نسجد.
قبل أن نسجد.
What does that mean online? We bow in our salat before we prostrate. Na'am. Good. Na'am. Narka, we bow. Yani ruku'. But nasjud was sujud. I'm sorry.
لماذا أن؟
قبل أن, because أن, قبل, what comes after قبل is mudaf ilayh, and the verb can be mudaf ilayh. So this comes between the verb and qabl, because what comes after qabl is mudaf ilayh, and the verb can be mudaf ilayh. Tayyib. We make ruku' and our prayer before we make prostrate. Good. Let's continue. Ya Umar, هل شممت هذا العطر؟
يا عمر هل شممت هذا العطر؟
Again, يا عمر هل شممت هذا العطر؟
يا عمر هل شممت هذا العطر؟
نعم. والعطر is fragrance. Sometimes the people say atar, but that's a mistake. It's not atar. It's atar with kasra. The plural is utur. The plural is utur, fragrance. But if you ask an American brother, he's going to say oil. But now oil, it gives the wrong meaning. Oil is oil, either car oil or cooking oil. Nobody in the world calls fragrances oils except Americans. Okay? So they go over to Saudi Arabia and Yemen. They go to the fragrance guys and, you have any zayt? Like, do you have any zayt? Do you have any oil? What are you talking about? What kind of oil you want? You know, nobody calls it oils except Americans. All right, it's called etar. So don't embarrass yourselves when you go over there. Ask us for zayt. They're gonna give you some cooking oil. You know? Or they're gonna give you some olive oil. You know, it's called etar, perfume or fragrance. Hal shamamta, did you smell? Good. Did you smell this perfume? Nah. الناس يشمون بأنوفهم.
الناس يشمون بأنوفهم.
الناس يشمون بأنوفهم.
الناس يشمون بأنوفهم.
يشمون بأنوفهم.
يشمون بأنوفهم.
طيب. People smell with their noses. The point here is the plural for anf is unuf. Okay, don't say this. Be unufihim. You can't pause there. Be unufihim. You can't say that. It's be unufihim. Again, annasu yashumuna bi unufihim.
الناس يشمون بأنوفهم.
Bi unufihim.
بأنوفهم.
So make your tongue, if it makes sense to say it, make it light. Make your tongue light on its toes. Keep your mouth on its toes. Don't be flat-footed in your mouth. Don't be flat-footed. Stay on your toes. Okay? If that makes sense. طيب. نحن ننظر بأعيننا ونسمع بآذاننا. نحن ننظر بأعيننا ننظر بأعيننا ونسمع بآذاننا نحن ننظر بأعيننا. Get everything. نحن ننظر بأعيننا ونسمع بآذاننا. We look with our eyes and we smell with our ears. That's the plural for eyes and that's the plural for ears. Yeah, well, I don't know what I said. What did I say? We smell. Yeah, your teacher, he's not a real teacher. You know what I'm saying? We look with our eyes and we listen with our ears. Listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. Your students, that you have to repeat these things over and over to them, okay? And it reminds me of Quran. I had some Quran teachers that when they teach Quran, when you make a mistake, they say the ayat over for you. They can, وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٍ وَلَمْ يَكُلْ. And they repeat. And their other sisters, teachers, they just sit back, they go, ha, ha, not ha. Like, ha, ha. Say the whole word for me so I can understand. The other guys goes, saw, not saw. I'm like, read the whole ayat, teacher. I mean, saw. What am I supposed to understand from saw? He says, ha. Say the whole word, but he's your teacher. I can't say that to him. And I used to say it like on the head. I'm like, how did your teacher teach you? Did he read the whole ayat? He was like, yeah, my teacher used to read the whole ayat. Well, like, duh, read it to me, the whole ayat. Nah, don't say ha. I didn't understand ha. Nah, the whole thing. So you have to repeat this over to your student. You have to lay down a foundation for him to build off of. Because when he makes a mistake, you can't go, no, it's not like that. No, you have to give the first example. Again, نحن ننظر بأعيننا ونسمع بآذاننا. فآذان is ears, and adhan is the call to prayer. Adhan is the call to prayer. Adhan is plural for ears. Right? Recognize that difference. Let's continue. Adhan, that's the call to prayer. Adhan is the plural for ears. Let's continue. المشركون لهم آذان لا يسمعون بها الهدى. Again, المشركون لهم آذان لا يسمعون بها الهدى. Allah says, لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها. They have hearts, they don't understand by it. وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes, they don't see with them. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. And they have ears, they don't hear with, meaning they don't hear the truth. They don't see the truth, they don't understand the truth, but they hear, see, and understand well. So they don't understand guidance. Again, al-mushrikuna lahum adhanun la yasma'una biha al-huda. This ba is called musahaba, suhba. That's companionship, and you do it with it. You listen with your ear. Yasma'una biha. What does this ha go back to? To the ears. Here with their ears. This ba is called musahaba. You see that you do it with it. From suhba, sahaba, you do it with it. Na'am. You understand that? Mama jittu. Ja'a jittu. What does it mean, jittu? Jittu. I came. Jittu bi Zaydin. What does that mean? Right, this mean that means you came with it. Jittu bi kitabi. I came with my book. So that ba, it feeds what? Musahaba, that this thing is accompanying with you. It's accompanying you. Are you all with us? what this ba conveys. Na'am. Na'am. So every time you see it, figure it's not always that, but most of the time when that's what that ba is for. Listen to this ba when you say fasabbih bihamdi rabbik. Fasabbih, like you say subhanallah, biham, and it's with alhamdulillah. Like that means that you're saying Allah is free from blame, praising him. You're doing it at the same time. Fasabbih bilhamd. Like you're saying alhamdulillah with subhanallah together. Na'am. And that's why we say subhanallah wa bihamdihi. You say it together. Na'am. So recognize that when you see it. Okay, let me write that. Let me write the name of that ba down. It's not the name of the ba, it's what it conveys. You feed al-musahaba. It conveys al-musahaba. I'm going to write it down. Musahaba. Al-musahaba. From suhba, from sahib, from companionship, a company. Al-musahaba. This is the beauty of Arabic. You have to understand everything. You can't just be translating. You have to understand, what does this word convey? What does this harf, what does this letter convey? Slowly you get these words as they come. These different terminologies. All right, let's continue. الرجل ضربني في فمي.
الرجل ضربني في فمي.
وكسر سني.
وكسر سني.
Brothers and sisters online, this is for y'all. The man hit me in my mouth and broke my tooth. Again, الرجل ضربني في فمي.
الرجل ضربني في فمي.
وكسر سني.
وكسر سني.
كسر سني. طيب. The man hit me in my mouth and broke my tooth. الرأس عضو من أعضاء الجسم. Let me hear that tanween. الرأس عضو. عضو من أعضاء الجسم. What does that mean online? الرأس عضو من أعضاء الجسم. The head is one part of the parts of the body parts. Good. It's a member from the members. عضو means member. You say عضو من هيئة كبار العلماء. He's a member of the. No. عضو is a part. عضو is a part. Well, أعضاء is the plural. How we doing online? Brothers and sisters, how we doing? Everything clear? Listen up. I said it a lot. I know I repeat myself a lot. What's the main thing in this book? The story and Jumla Mufida. You review that. Review it. That's why, listen. Do you know why I put this book together? I used to teach Arabic. I used to teach on the floor, and I used to write on the blackboard with a marker. You know the whiteboards with the marker. We don't have tables and chairs. So I would be teaching. I'll have to stand up on my knees because the board is on the floor and write it and then sit back down and then erase it, then write it. Then I'll be erasing. When I want to erase it, somebody said I didn't write it yet. And my back and my arm was about just to break off. I mean, literally, I just was like, listen, I'm going to write this down because I can't keep doing this. So this is what you have to review. You have to review this. Now it's displayed. You don't have to write it down. It's there for you. Has a section called Jumla Mufida. You just have to go there and read it. You have to do it in context, no stuttering. But you know when you really have it? When you read it 1 time looking, 2 times not looking, and you do that whole page 3 times, no stuttering, you got it. Are you all with me online? This is how you benefit. Learn how to benefit. It's not that you just come to class. It's not just, I love Arabic. I love the ulama. I love. Okay, you got to do some hard down work. You got to grind. And that's how you grind. If you want to see if you're doing good, read it 1 time looking, 2 times not looking. and do the whole page like that until you got it. I got it. I got this. Bi'idhnillah. Na'am. Tayyib, let's continue. وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
I want to hear the Am. وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
ووجوه الكافرين سوداء.
ووجوه الكافرين سوداء.
And the faces of the believers on the day of judgment are white, and the disbelievers are black. Nah. And nobody take offense. Like if they're black, they take offense. No, it's black like you never saw black. Yom Qiyamah. You're nothing compared to that black. Don't take offense. Ain't nothing got to do with you in your face. This is a black that if you saw it, it'll scare you. But don't, that's ignorant. Well, why it's like that? It's a lot, man, in this book. It's a black like you never saw. All right. Again, right. That's nothing to do with that. That's what had nothing to do with that. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You just have to mention that because some people, they take things in the wrong context. For Americans, I can speak to Americans. The world is black or white. That's it. The world is either black or it's white. That's everything. Come down to that. Not all of them, of course, but for a lot. But just where they come from, not because anything that they decided, where they come from. Everything is black or white.
Even if you're Mexican or something, you have to put whether you're white or black.
So when you go on the other seas, people overlook that to a degree. People overlook that as black or white. So somebody might be slighted and think that he was slighted because he was black. Like, no, they didn't even pay attention to. They were looking at your pockets. They wasn't looking at your skin color. They were looking at your shoes. They were looking at your passport. They wasn't looking at your skin color. Some people overlook that. Nah. Let's go back to our class. نعم أحسن لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم صحيح. The ones who are black, they're in the best تقويم. That's right. That's right. The ones out there, who can deny it? Again, وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
وجوه المؤمنين يوم القيامة بيضاء.
وجوه الكافرين سوداء.
وجوه الكافرين سوداء.
I have a question, and it's a big question. Why do we say bayda? Why do we say abiyad? Why do we say sauda? Why we don't say aswad? Wujuh is feminine. Right. Wujuh is afwan. Wujuh is what? Is plural. So we use feminine. Okay. Now, there's another word that we could use that would be appropriate. What's the bayda is the feminine of what? Bayda is the feminine of what? Abyad. What's the plural? Beeld. Right. You can also say wujuh beeld. Wujuh beeld. Wujuh. And the singular for black is aswad. The feminine is what? Sawda. And the plural is what? Sud. Sud. Naam. Fabarakallahu fikum. You say ar-rajul aswad wal mar'a sawda. We know that already. Naam. We know that already. Right, let's continue. As-sahabatu radiyallahu anhum.
الصحابة رضي الله عنهم
تركوا لحاهم وما حلقوها.
تركوا لحاهم وما حلقوها.
تركوا لحاهم
تركوا لحاهم
وما حلقوها.
وما حلقوها.
Tayyib, look at the word lihahum. Look how it's written. Liha is written with a ya maqsura, a alif maqsura, an alif maqsura that's in the shape of a ya. But when you have a word, at the end of a word is an alif maqsura that's the shape of a ya. But after it comes a pronoun like hum or ha or ka, then you have to write it up and down. You have to write it mamduda. You have to write it mamduda. If at the end of the word, you say liha, and you write the ya like what? Like the shape of a ya. You write the aleph as the shape of a ya. But if a pronoun comes after it, like lihahum, na'am, then you're going to write it up and down in the shape of what? Mamduda. Is that clear? So we only wrote this up and down because a pronoun got attached to it. You understand what I'm saying? Barakallahu fikum. Barakallahu fikum. I think we benefited this week. I think we benefited this week. Okay, look at this exercise here. We're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to do it a little bit now. But we want our class to be like 45 minutes. Sometimes it goes to an hour. It'll be good. 45 minutes is enough. Your teacher, he always yastarsil. What does that mean? Istarsala. Yastarsil. Istarsala. He digresses all the time. From arsala. Arsala means to send. Like he goes off on a tangent sometimes. Changes the topic. Istarsala. From arsala, to send. Istarsala. He digressed. If I didn't digress, probably might finish the class in a half hour. Inshallah. Let's look at this lesson here. This is all just to help you all in your speaking. It's just to help. Okay. Look at the directions. It says, اكتب كل جملة مع ضمير المناسب كما في المثال. Write every sentence with the appropriate pronoun. This is a pronoun that you're going to attach to the verb now. It says, الأولاد يغسلون السيارة الآن. الأولاد يغسلونها الآن. Simple lesson. You're going to change the pronoun. Are you going to change the noun for the pronoun? عاصم يحفظ القرآن بعد صلاة الفجر. عاصم يحفظه بعد صلاة الفجر. Simple lesson. Simple lesson. نعم. Let's look at a couple of them. عامر يحب أن يلبس الإزار أثناء العمل. What does that mean, brothers and sisters online? عامر يحب أن يلبس الإزار أثناء الشغل. عامر يحب أن يلبس الإزار أثناء الشغل. What does that mean? عامر likes to wear his during work. نعم. So you're going to say عامر يحب أن يلبسه أثناء الشغل. So tomorrow you're going to read that and you're going to read that. نعم. You're going to read that and you're going to read that. نعم. رحمة تسمع الخطبة جيدا من بيتها. What does that mean online? رحمة تسمع الخطبة جيدا من بيتها. Right. The izar, we're not going to translate it. Waistcloth. That's good. No. It's called the izar. No. What does that mean? Rahma tasma'ul khutbah. Rahma hears the khutbah well from her house. And you're going to say, Rahma tasma'uha. Rahma tasma'uha jayyidan min baytiha. You understand what you're going to do tomorrow? It's going to be an open book. Open book. I don't want you to write the answers there on your page. I want you to do it from your head. It's going to be an open book. I want you to do it from your head. You're going to read both parts. I'm just going to sit back and relax. I want you to look through these sentences and make sure you understand all of them. I want you to find out what it means. Look in the dictionary. Find out what each one means. It's just 9 questions, 9 sentences. And then after that, we have a lesson in Al-Sarf after this. Tomorrow is the last day of the week. I think we had a good week. I want you over the weekend, not even the weekend, but the 2 days off, work on 2 things. Go back to the beginning of the book and work on your comprehension. And then go through your other sentence, read them one time from looking, one time for 2 times from memory. May Allah bless, put time in your efforts and in your studies. Ask Allah for help, ya ikhwa. Ask Allah for help. Listen up before we end. I heard one of the brothers here speaking. He had a good speech, and it just struck my mind, and it just reminded me about Arabic. Imagine somebody's making Hajj. In Hajj, you go to Muzdalifah. It's a big ibadah, right? You go to Muzdalifah, you go to Arafah. It's like these are the biggest acts of ibadah. You go here and you go there. You go to the Jamarat. Imagine you get there and you go stand over next to an area and you give somebody a camera to take a picture of you, Hunaka, over there. Who's that picture for? Is that for Allah? Now you got to this big place over there. You've been waiting there for all your life to get here. You get to Muzdalifah, holy land. You understand what I'm saying? Place where the Prophet actually and companions walk. You get to Arafah, like the Prophet said, Al-Hajj Arafah. Like this is the most important thing about Hajj. And you taking pictures with your hands up in the form of a dua, and you want to be seen like that. What are you doing? I don't understand. Who's that for? And isn't it sufficient that Allah sees you? Is that sufficient? It's sufficient that Allah sees you. All right, now. So the same thing with our Arabic. Our Arabic's not so we could be heard, or somebody can hear us dropping in, or they say, oh, his Arabic is strong. Or listen, all that is nothing. We want to understand Islam. That's what we want to do. We want to understand our religion. So we have to renew our intentions. And it's easy to have something come into your intentions. It's easy. Well, we ask Allah for sincerity, high ambitions. Like your ambitions are high. Like what's this picture going to benefit me? Do you know how many millions of people made Hajj? Millions and millions of people, millions in 1 year. And here you come, and now it got to be a picture. The people who made Hajj perfectly, and the first people to make Hajj, where they at? No. So we want to keep that in mind. We ask Allah to accept from us these deeds. I think these are the greatest of deeds, learning Arabic. When it's for His sake and learning His religion. No. So don't rush. Take your time. Don't rush. No. Don't pick the grapes before they're ready and they're ripe. It's going to be sour. Don't pick them grapes. Don't you know that raisins come from grapes? So, and the money that the people make is in raisins, not in the grapes. So the people of Damaj had grapevines. Okay, they have grapevines. And when you live on a farm, people try to sell the fruit before they're ripe. I didn't learn until 5 years later when romance came out or the oranges came out. I would go buy it and take it home. It's all sour. I don't buy any fruit until a month after it comes in. Because I know the people are so anxious to get money, they start picking off the fruit and they sell it and it's not ready yet. And then you can, when you making raisins, you have to pick the grape, but it has to be ripe. So if you pick the grape too early, it's not going to turn into a raisin. So you can't pick your grapes too early yourself. Stop studying Arabic and go start moving on. No, you pick your grapes too early. Are you all with me online? Let your grapes ripen. Let it ripen. Totally. Don't rush. In Arabic, don't rush. Act like there's nothing else to study. Act it's your life. You're gonna love it when it really blossoms. And it turns into raisins and real knowledge. And then they take those raisins and they sell it all to Saudi. And you have to buy like 4 barrels at a time. They sell it. And they make thousands of dollars. Thousands. Then you can't buy a bag. You have a barrel of raisins. We're going to stop here. Barakallahu feekum. Allah bless you and your raisins and your grapes. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. I ain't gonna say